Hey, FeralInferno here with a Metroid Dread Special Edition reboxing. That's right, it's not unboxing because it's already unboxed. This came out in October, and obviously I've already opened it up. So we're going to take a look at the contents and put some of the contents back in the box. All right, so first we got the box. Really awesome box. Nintendo did a great job on this. Hard to tell in the video, but Samus and the Metroid logo are embossed. So you feel over it, you can you feel it, and in person you can see the 3D effect. We got an Emmy in the background as well, sneaking up on Samus, ready to attack, and Samus in the new suit with her dramatic pose as she usually has in all these cover arts. But yeah, it's a great cover. Might look a little bland on camera, but in person it looks spectacular. It really pops. The red and the glow, the Emmy really glows, and it looks fantastic. Sides, nothing to write home about. Just says Metroid Dread on it. That is plain. But the back is fantastic. We have a glossy prism hollow foil type of back here. I almost feel like this should have been the front cover. Really spectacular. You got Samus with some Chozo on there, Chozo warriors, and this looks really great and tells you about the contents that are in the box. So fantastic special edition box. Definitely has earned a nice spot in my collection. Now, next up, we're going to take a look at what came in the box. And as you can see, we have the tray as well that came in it. And why would I put this all back in the tray? Well, because I want to show you what the tray is. This really blew me away as soon as I opened it up. To tell that the care that went into this game and the packaging, everything that they did for Metroid, really, this highlighted. I knew before I started playing the game that it was going to be something special. This is the cardboard insert, and they put embossed artwork. This pops up on the tray. This is the tray. This holds everything. You see this maybe once or twice the entire time you have this box set. But I thought this was really fantastic. I didn't see anybody else really talk about this, and this when I opened it up, I was just like, I'm blown away right now. Just looking at it for the second time, just how great this really is. So you got the Emmys on the cliff there, looking over. It's the same art that's on the steel book, minus Samus. But you got the Emmys sitting there on the cliff, ready to pounce again. So yeah, really cool tray. We'll set that off to the side for now. And next we got our steelbook. This is actually my first steelbook. I've never been a huge fan of steelbooks. I'm going to take them or leave them. But this is my first gaming steelbook. But they did a really nice job with this. Trying to get it so you can see like the green on her visor, on her shoulder pads, and on her cannon. It kind of has a glowing effect. As you can see, as I'm positioning it here in the light, you can see it kind of, it radiates. So really cool. And again, in person, it really, really pops. The back, just have the cliff. Back's a little boring, but hey, we're not looking at the back that often, right? Inside, we got a little bit of more Metroid art here. You got a little Chozo statue and the Metroid screw attack symbol. Obviously, the game's not there. Game is out, but just standard game cartridge. Nothing special about that. Yeah, but steelbook, excellent edition. I was a little actually hesitant to get the steelbook. I was like, oh, I kind of like having the regular cases, but I found a nice place to display the steelbook. Now next, this also came with the special edition, and this is a sleeve that has some art cards. And we'll take a look at them. And this is going over the history of Metroid. Again, these are all hollow foil. Hard to show in camera, but they do shine. Looks really cool. I'd like to hang these up somewhere on my game wall, but with them being so small, yeah, it's kind of hard to find a good place for them where it doesn't feel like clutter. So, in the future when we do a game room tour and you have some suggestions and you remember from this video of where these could go, love to hear it. But yeah, we'll take a look at each one. This is the original Metroid for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This was the box art for the NES in America. Fun fact about why they used pixel graphics, while there might not necessarily be the exact pixel graphics in the game, they went with pixel graphics on the box art for these games back then because of the video game crash of 1983. Go back to the Atari days. Atari had this extravagant, wonderful artwork that was done by like these great fantasy artists. And if you go back and look at some of these Atari 2600 games, look at the cover art, and you're like, wow, that's not what you're playing at all. And people got burned. People didn't like being misled and misrepresented. And Nintendo came back and said, hey, here's what we need to change. We need to show on the cover of the game what this game is. Because at the time, while this doesn't look like much, at the time, this was amazing graphics. This really just was what... when people saw these graphics, people were like, wow, this is the next level. Take a look at Atari 2600 and then take a look at the NES graphics. It's just such a huge leap in technology. So this was Nintendo's way of saying, hey, here's what you get, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. Next, we've got Metroid 2 Return of Samus on the Game Boy. This is when all that pixel art box art had stopped, and they were like, hey, let's put some money into our artwork again. And we got Samus here. Samus is looking really good in her iconic crouching pose. And again, these all have the holographic foil. Next, we've got Super Metroid. This is a lot of fans' favorite in the series. Got the iconic Super Nintendo box art. I'll show you some of the holographic. And yeah, with this wonderful box art, you got Samus on there fighting a red Ridley for some reason. Not sure why Ridley's red. And you got Kraid in the background, looming, ready to stomp on Samus's face. This is the first time Kraid appeared as a giant reptile. And other games, Kraid was the same height as Samus. But yeah, this was a really great game for the SNES. A lot of people's favorite Metroid or even favorite game of all time. Next, we've got Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion, I actually played about 15 years ago. I held off on it for a little while. I didn't have a Game Boy Advance right away. I was in college when the Game Boy Advance came out and was kind of like, oh, I got other things to do besides gaming, girls, jobs, studying. So for a little while, games fell off for me, but I definitely came back to them in full force. And I picked up Metroid Fusion, got about halfway through the game and stopped, and other things just kind of took over. It didn't really grab me like some of the other Metroids did, but I came back and made sure I played through it before Metroid Dread came out, and I ended up finishing it the day before Metroid Dread got released. And next up, we have the game of the hour. We got Metroid Dread, and again, more holographic. This one doesn't really pop as much as the other ones, but still looks really great. And again, I'd love to put these up on my wall somewhere, but with it being such a small form factor, kind of tough. Maybe I could frame it or something, but again, once you see the game room, once we do a tour, you'll see that it's going to be a tall order trying to find these a nice home. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is get our tray and our box. And we're going to rebox. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have a horrible camera angle here for you. All right. There we go. Reboxed Metroid Dread. And what we're going to do is also take Metroid Dread. And we're going to put Metroid Dread where it belongs in the game collection. All right. There we go. Metroid Dread back on the wall. All right, when we come back, we're going to take a look at the Metroid Dread Art Book, so stick around. Okay, here we are. We have the Metroid Art Book from Metroid Dread Special Edition, subtitled Mission Logs, or Journal des Missions. Yeah, guessing that's French. Let me know how my French accent is in the comments. All right, so first thing we got to do is, like we said in the previous video, we are still sealed. So we're going to go ahead and unwrap this bad boy. I'm going to do this very carefully so we don't rip anything. We got the master blade. So let's see how we can do this without ripping the pages while doing it one-handed, holding a camera. Yeah, anybody wants to apply to help out on the channel, yeah, feel free. Pay is nothing, but you know, you get paid in the great feeling of helping Inferno not look like a doofus when he's doing these unwrappings. Or maybe that's not a good payment, because maybe you like seeing someone look like a doofus. So, all right, so let's try getting a little bit more cut here. There we go. We got our Metroid book. Wow, the cover looks really nice outside of the wrapper. It's really nice. A little bit of smudges there, but we can polish those out. All right, so let's not waste any more time, and let's just get right into it. All right. Oh yeah, look at that. Cool little artwork here in the binding, very atmospheric of Metroid. Right. Metroid, yep, we got it. We know what we're looking at. Hey, okay, cool. So we're looking at the very first game here. So this was the Japanese box art, if I'm not mistaken, for the first Metroid. And we got the Japanese logo there too, along with the American logo for the first game. Oh, wow, look at this. This is cool. All right, yeah, we're going to be here a while, folks. So, you know, go ahead and hit the pause button if you need to. Grab your favorite beverage, grab a snack, grab some candy or whatever you need to grab, popcorn. We're going to be here a little while. This is cool. So, yeah, this is some art I've never even seen before from Metroid. And there's that iconic pose again, the crouching. Crouching actually started in this game here. And it looks like we got a little more of a skin-tight Metroid suit here. That's kind of funny. Yeah, kind of interesting artwork on the visor there. But yeah, they didn't want to reveal who was in that suit in the first game. I wonder if we'll see any art of Samus in here for the first game. I doubt it, but we'll see if outside of her power suit. And we got some of the monsters here. Yeah, a lot of this artwork I've never seen before. This is really cool. So yeah, if you guys are watching this, and you don't have this book, yeah, you're definitely in for a treat. You know, these guys I felt were more iconic in Super Metroid. These guys were nasty. So especially the giant ones, they took away a lot of life. But they were in the first Metroid as well. Oh, there's our Metroids right there. Not quite as cool artwork as these days, but those were the early days. It definitely looked more jellyfish-like with those tentacles rather than the claws. Very cool. Oh, and there's also our friend Ridley. Ridley was named after Ridley Scott, who gave us the Alien movies, the early Alien movies, and this game was modeled after Alien a lot, as you can see by the early Ridley design. And Ridley Scott essentially got a credit by being named that pterodactyl alien creature. I've seen this one with the bazillion eyes, but I've never seen this other dragon artwork to the left here. I've never seen that. I don't know if that was new for the book or if that was maybe Japanese and this was American. But yeah, who knows? Same with Kraid. The one on the left, I've never seen before. One on the right is definitely American artwork. So I wonder if this is just a difference of Japanese art and American art. Back in the 80s and early 90s, a lot of companies were really wary about using Japanese anime style art. They didn't really feel like it would sell here in America. Um, who knows if it would have sold back then? If it wouldn't, we know these days it is very popular, but back then things were recreated. So looks like this is what happened. We got the Japanese box art or the character art, and then the American character art. Both not very representative of what Ridley looks like today, but still pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that. I actually think I prefer the American Kraid artwork on here. That looks pretty cool. And we got some of the items here. Power-ups. Got the missiles and the high jump boots, power bomb, Varia suit, screw attack, of course, right big in the center there. I'm guessing this orb here is an energy capsule, I'm assuming. Got some missiles. Energy tank. Very cool. All right, yeah, not a whole lot there. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of art from the first Metroid, but hey, there was more than I thought there'd be. Now we're on to Metroid 2, Return of Samus. I kind of wonder if we'll see the remake, Samus Returns, later on in the book. We mentioned Metroid 2 Samus Returns, a little bit of a variation of the subtitle that was developed by Mercury Steam, the same people who did Metroid Dread. So we'll see some of that artwork in here. So we got some various suit poses from Samus. Wow, a lot more artwork than I thought there would be. Oh, there's a power suit shot as well. I wonder if this was, the Japanese audience got all this artwork in their manual, because I don't remember all this artwork in the manual. I remember the crouching position, of course, but very cool. And there's the Metroids, how we remember them, right? The ones with the claws. And the weird looking veins coming out of those cotton candy balls or whatever they are in the middle of the Metroids. Yeah, it's awesome. We got the different forms of the Metroids, different stages. I don't remember all their names, but this was the really cool thing about Metroid 2, was that the Metroids were in it again, but they were different. They were different types of Metroids. I guess if you could say any of the Metroid games were the most Metroid, this would be it. This is the game that had the most amount of Metroid in it. And we got our Queen Metroid. And some of our enemies, which are probably going to recognize very well from the Game Boy screen. Very cool. Some more of our enemies here. More enemies. And we got Samus's gunship. The first time we saw the ship was in this game. And I'm judging from this art book, it wasn't even in the art in the Japanese materials. So this is the first time we see Samus's gunship. Really cool to see that. I also thought it was really cool that it looked like her helmet. And some of the items that she obtains in the game. Some of the beams. We got wave beam, spacer, ice. L? I don't remember what L was. I want to say laser, but maybe it was. Can't remember. It's been a while since I played Metroid 2 in the Game Boy. Got our Chozo statue there. Very iconic artwork. All right, yep. So we got not too much artwork for the second game, but Super Metroid, I expect we'll have a lot more artwork. And this is the monster. This is the game that a lot of people fell in love with the Metroid series. This came out on the Super Nintendo back in the 90s, and it looks like that they've updated Ridley to be purple here instead of the oranges red color that you usually see. So that's pretty cool. It only took 30 years later to get the art right. So Super Metroid, it's our logo. All right. And here's a lot of a lot of this artwork we have seen before, because there were that's when the player guides were getting really big, and the player guides were starting to get all the cool artwork in there. But yeah, we know that iconic standing pose from Samus. Got some action poses. This might be the first artwork that was made of Samus in the screw attack. Although I guess that could technically be the charge beam mini screw attack as well. Hard to tell without any notes. But we'll say screw attack just for fun. And then we got the rest of Samus here. We got Samus, her gun looks like it's changing over to missiles at that point. Someone pressed the select button. All right. And then we got our bosses. We got Giant Kraid and Phantoon, and I don't remember the fish boss. I just remember this boss was pathetically easy. If you knew the trick, we'll do some tips and tricks videos later, and maybe we'll go over how to kill that boss in like 2 seconds. Now we got the, I'm guessing that's the Super Metroid based on its size. But that could just be a regular Metroid as well. I guess we'll find out in the next few pages, hopefully. Got a Space Pirate, some of the mini bosses as well. This was Crocomire, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember Bacteria or something like that, this green thing. But I got the music stuck in my head just seeing some of these bosses. Yeah, so much iconic music in Super Metroid. There's Mother Brain. The first time we see what Mother Brain looks like outside the shell. Now that I think about it, we haven't seen any artwork of Mother Brain in the shell yet. So I wonder if we'll see any of that in here. Maybe there was never any artwork done for Mother Brain in the shell. Then we got Ridley with the incorrect color. We got the red color there. That's okay. It still looks really BA. Ridley, this is the best artwork for Ridley, I think, that we ever had, minus the incorrect color. But yeah, really cool. I got those enemies, and there's that enemy I was telling you about before. When you saw these enemies early game, especially the really big ones, oh man, good luck. They would take away a whole energy tank in one hit. If you didn't have the right armor and enough energy tanks, they could wipe you out pretty fast. All right, we got our gunship. Oh yeah, we got the little space monkeys. I don't remember their names, but they taught you the touch and go. Oh man, that touch and go. If you didn't know how to do the touch and go, and I don't think that was in the manual or anything, but you got stuck in this cavern and there was no way out. If you didn't save beforehand and you couldn't figure out how to do touch and go, you either stuck in there for hours or you had to reset the game. But that was games back then. This is probably one of the last games that really was brutal and set you up to succeed. And you might say, "Oh, well, isn't that setting you up to fail?" No, it's you have to face adversity in life, and these monkeys taught me adversity. And we got Samus with her grapple beam. We got the screw attack Samus logo there. And this is really neat. I don't remember ever seeing this. This might have been in the player's guide, but looks like a little mini map of planet Zebes. Zebes? I don't know. Everybody had different pronunciations growing up. We really needed a Metroid cartoon or something to give us some of the pronunciations. But yeah, that's really cool. It's not how accurate this map is. It's just more artwork more than anything. But it gives you a general idea of where things are. Yeah, map's much larger than that. Oh, and that's it for Super Metroid. That's a little disappointing. I thought there would have been a little bit more for Super Metroid. We got Metroid Fusion. This game really was a little bit of a departure for the series. Not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but definitely kept things a little more fresh. But yeah, Metroid Fusion. Samus, let's call her Metroid. Samus has got her fusion suit there, and we won't go into the story for that. You'll have to play the game to figure that out. And we got here's hair, something. Yeah, that's weird. All right, Metroid Fusion. Let's take a look at this artwork. I haven't seen a whole lot of this art either. I've seen these first two images. I think these were in the Smash Brother games. These artworks there, but this kind of gets more into that little kind of skin-tight suit from the first Metroid artwork that we saw. Now that I think about it, that's kind of cool. That's a little bit of a throwback that I think not a lot of people recognized. Here we got Samus's one of her new abilities, hanging onto ledges. Yeah, who knew? Who knew you could hang on to things? We got the SAX and Samus there. Pretty cool art there. That'd make a really great poster. And Samus's modified gunship. And we got some of the enemies from Metroid Fusion. I just played the game. I can't remember the name of the space station that you were on. And there's the X parasites. Some more enemies. Oh yeah, not too much there either. All right, so now we got the remakes. We had two remakes of the Metroid games. We had Metroid Zero Mission. This is a awesome remake of the first Metroid. If you haven't played the Metroid games before, I would say start here. Start with Metroid Zero Mission. It really gives you a better experience than the first game. The first game is wonderful, especially for its time, but it definitely is a little bit ancient once you play it. Once you play the first Metroid, you'll be like, oh man, this is kind of tough. Without having a map and without having to save, you having to have passwords. I mean, you could do save states, but it also adds a lot. It adds a lot, and it feels like if Super Metroid, the first Metroid was in the Super Metroid format. So a lot of people love this version of the first Metroid. And this is a very recently done remake back in 2017, I want to say. Metroid Samus Returns. This is a remake of Metroid 2. And what they really did here was great with the box art. This was the box art for the game, and it was the same style as the box art for the Game Boy Metroid Return of Samus. But except for that was, really cool artwork, and this was more into like that 3D, more modern looking art, and the background even too is, it's space again, but it's like, hey, is that more modern looking space? Definitely, feels more computer generated. While I do prefer, more artwork style than computer generated, it just made so much sense. It felt like this was a total remake of the game. So I think there was some intention there. I'll take a look at some of this art. This is from Zero Mission. This is from Metroid Zero Mission here. I think it's been a while since I played it, so I'm guessing there was a speed booster in the game. So you see some speed boost. There's a different version of the gunship, so kind of cool to see like different versions of the gunship from game to game. We got that iconic pose redrawn. You got Samus aiming, you got Samus in her ship. These were, I believe, screenshots from the game during the storytelling sequences. And we got create. Oh, there's our art of Mother Brain in the glass. So cool. We finally got it. All right, we're done. We can close the book. We're all done, folks. Yeah, just kidding. We're good. We're gonna keep going. But that's cool to see Mother Brain in the glass container. And we got our Metroid there. Less jellyfish looking, more Metroid looking. And then now we've got our Metroid Samus Returns artwork, and more that computer generated art. What a lot of gamers now expect to see Samus in is this type of art, made popular by the Metroid Prime series. And we got our little baby Metroid there. Yeah, now some of this art I have seen, and this is spectacular. Look at this. Look at this art. I'd love to have this as a poster. Samus just using, looks like the spazer beam, the spazer / wave beam / charge beam. Definitely got that combo beam there. That's awesome. Firing on one of the Metroid, different levels of Metroid. I think that was probably the level 1 Metroid. And we got Samus doing the new melee attack that was introduced with Samus Returns. I didn't know how I was going to like this whole mechanic. And at first, I was indifferent, I'll say. And then once you get used to it, it's like, okay, it becomes second nature, and it's a cool addition to the game. It's like, yeah, why wasn't this here before? This is great. But I can see where fans might be a little divided on that. All right, so we got some more artwork here. This is a new boss, really cool boss. A boss that really incorporated the morph ball, and where a lot of bosses didn't. So this was a really creative boss here. I think it was like Digger or something like that. I can't remember its name, but this was a really fun boss, and I really enjoyed playing it. I think it was one of the first bosses, maybe. But I think it was fairly early on. Could be wrong. It's been a few years since I played the game. And we got the different levels of Metroids up here at the top, and we've got Mecha Ridley there, looking like the Terminator. We've got different Metroids here. All right, that's it for the remake. All right, now we've got Metroid Dread. So I don't know what we're going to encounter here because this is the first time I'm looking at the book. So if you haven't played Metroid Dread and you're afraid of spoilers, you may want to turn back now. It's possible that some of these images could be spoilerish. I don't really think so, but just fair warning. I don't want anybody to have the game ruined because it's a spectacular game that everybody who enjoys the Metroid series and that style of game should definitely play. You know, they say Metroidvania. We're going to go off a little tangent here. They say Metroidvania. I really hate that term. Just because Metroid, it was always Metroid. There was never, Castlevania there's a couple of games that were Metroid style, but most of the early games were all just more like action. They were action-oriented games, action platformers. Castlevania 2, that had kind of a Metroidvania to it, but Metroid started it. Metroid started the whole maze adventure. There might have been other games before, but Metroid's what made it popular. I think where that term came from was after Symphony of the Night, because people played Symphony of the Night and were like, oh wow, this is a lot like Metroid, but with Castlevania. We love it. So yeah, I don't like the term Metroidvania. It's a Metroid game. Get out of here with your Metroidvania nonsense. All right, I get off my high horse or high Metroid, whatever you want to say. All right, we got Samus in her newer suit for the game, the blue suit. I've been calling it the blue suit. Pretty cool suit. And we got different forms of the suit here. This isn't even her final form. Really cool. And we got some cool artwork here. Samus in different forms with their suits. You know, this looks like some concept art. You can tell a lot of love and thought went into this game. Mercury's team did a really fantastic job. Just don't put Metroid back in the hands of Team Ninja. Leave it with Mercury's team, guys. And you got some gravity suit there. And there's some of our iconic artwork. Very cool. Got the Emmys. We'll see some different concept art for the Emmys and some of the different iterations they went through. Trying to find the right design. Oh, this is cool. It's kind of like something you'd see out of a corporation or Skynet or something. Look at that. You even got like, hey, here's how the joints work. Like I said, they put a lot of heart and soul in this game, guys. If you haven't played it or haven't finished it, stop what you're doing. Stop watching this video. Go play the game. Finish it. It's got some it's like storyboard. This isn't anything. No spoilers yet. This is just storyboard artwork. Very familiar with this type of art, having been a graphic design student back in high school. And we got some more Emmy here. We got some more, looks like, again, production artwork saying like, hey, here's what you need to do. Here's how some weapons work. Here's how targeting works. Now here we go. Here's some real early concept artwork here. I'm really glad with the design they went with, because some of these designs, while they're kind of cool, are a little bit more generic looking. Something you might see out of like X-Men or Terminator or something. The Emmys, what they went with, this is so cool. I got some more enemy artwork here. There's some familiar enemies in the game, but a lot of new enemies, which I really enjoyed. When you can introduce new elements to a classic franchise, make it feel fresh and still make it feel like that franchise, you've done a good job. It's nice when you have an established franchise to work with. A lot of times it either becomes cookie cutter, or it's too derivative, or it's just not enough. Sometimes it strays too far. Mercury Steam did a great job of keeping this Metroid. We got some Chozo here, some of the Chozo characters and Chozo warriors that we all know from the Metroid series. And we got some more production artwork there, size comparisons. Some more enemy artwork. We'll see how long my hand holds up here. It's been holding this up for 26 minutes straight. You guys still with me? You guys still awake? I hope so. All right, more enemies. All right. Another it looks like a corridor enemy here. I know what enemy that is, but I don't say anything. But no spoilers or anything. But it's just, that's cool. That's cool. They did artwork for this enemy. That's fantastic. And we got some more little guys here. Oh, yep. This guy. Oh, you got electrical enemy there. We'll go through this just a little bit. We're going to go through this just a little bit faster, and we're going to switch hands because my hand's going numb. Look at my hands turning white from holding up for so long. Maybe I should get like something where I can hold a necklace for my phone. This is a water boss creature here. This is really cool. That's some cool artwork. So far, no spoilers. Just what the enemies look like. I mean, for me that'd be spoilers, but my friends will tell you I am obnoxious when it comes to spoilers. I don't want to know anything about the game. If I know I want the game, I don't look at the trailers, I don't look at screenshots, I don't look at reviews. I try to go dark. We got their version of Kraid. And I've got our iconic Chozo item power-up offering room. Even that went through a little bit of redesign. It looks really great. Some more Chozo. Oh, page sticking. Some more Chozos. Look at this. This is just statues in the background, and they're like, hey, let's do all this type of artwork for it. Really cool. Some more Chozo. When you look at when you're playing the game, you're kind of just rushing through, and you can't always take all the visuals in. Take them in now, guys. Take in the visuals now. Look at this. Look at the time and effort that went into this game. Love and dedication. Okay. We're going to start cruising through here just a little bit. getting kind of long on time here. A little bit of a map area there. We got some water. The dreaded water levels. Looking at more of the environments. I mean, this is making me want to go play the game again. I can't. I got other games I gotta play. This is making me really want to play the game again. Looking at these environments. Look at the waves crashing. Yeah, that guy's having fun. You gotta have your mandatory lava zone in a Metroid game. Metroid's not complete without some lava. We got some science-y type rooms here. I guess it makes sense, this being a Metroid Dread book, there's most artwork is from Metroid Dread. But it was really cool to see some of the artwork from the older games. Again, nothing too ground, earth shattering in here that it's going to spoil the game for anybody, I don't think. But if you want to go in fresh, maybe this is not the book to look at. You had already been warned, though. Got the stormy weather. This is just some more concept art. Oh, there's Zordon. That's pretty funny. Not really Zordon, guys. Not sure if you got that joke. If you got that joke, let me know in the comments. Or just say boo, because it was a bad joke. Trying to make sure that we don't skip any pages. Some of the pages are sticky a little bit, being so new. Freshly opened out of the plastic. But yeah, look at this artwork, guys. Look at this artwork. Switch hands again. Look at that. You guys getting excited? If you haven't played the game, you should be. Or if you have played the game, you should be getting some goosebumps just looking at these photos. So I'm starting to get a little quiet. So I'm tempted to just put the camera down and go start playing again. But we got to finish Bravely Default 2 first. And then we got to finish Skyward Sword HD. And then there's plenty of other games we got to play. Look at that. That's really cool. Some more of the areas. Ancient civilization. Wasteland. The great doors of Metroid. Different locks and different barriers you have to use different beams and missiles for. Very iconic. And they did a nice job replicating that in this game and making it a little bit new as well. And you've got some black and white art. Let's get through some of this. Go a little quicker. I knew we'd be here a while. I didn't think we'd be this long. This is something you don't see too often with the new Metroid game. Metroid Dread is actual artwork. Very nice. Not computer generated. Well, it might be, but still looks more hand drawn. Yeah, Samus, doing her Mega Man thing. Using the grapple beam. Get some of the enemies. Some more environments and machinery. And some more, looks like some concept art for the morph ball. Some gloves. Alright, I think we're safe. I don't think we have any real spoilers in here, so that's great. Different beams. Really, really nice artwork they did on these. Just want to pay attention to that. Yeah, that looks really cool. And some more energy missile replenishing items. And some more concept art. How some of the attacks work. That modified gunship from Fusion makes its return. Brought to you by Nintendo. Really great. Yeah, so okay. A little bit anticlimactic end of the book there, but I would have thought something kind of cooler, but at least there weren't any spoilers in there. But yeah, we've got the back lining here. Looks really nice. And the back of the book. Yeah, this really shows. I'm not sure if these are my fingerprints or. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. But we'll clean that up. So yeah, there's our Metroid art book, the mission logs, or Journal des Missions book. So really hope you enjoyed looking at the special edition. We have a little bit of bonus footage for you. That's right. We're not done yet. No, we're pretty much done. But just wanted to show you guys the amiibos that accompanied Metroid Dread. Really cool. We got the logo on the bottom there. I never used them for the items. I just got them for the collection. I very rarely actually use amiibos. Like one of the few games I used amiibos for were Smash Bros. Just a little bit, and Breath of the Wild for some of the unlockable outfits. And here we got our Emmy. Now this is really, really awesome. Really cool. Let's take a look at that metallic exoskeleton. Great. So yeah, if you haven't, every once in a while you'll see these amiibos and special edition. You'll see them pop up every once in a while. So it's still possible to get them if you slept on it and you want the special edition. Now that you know what's in it, now's the time to make sure you grab it if you still can. It's a little late. Like I said, I have seen it pop up in stores here and there. So yeah, Metroid Special Edition. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your experience with the Metroid series, Metroid Dread, if you got the Special Edition. Yeah, I'd love to see your comments. And until next time, have a good one. See ya.